Welcome to Accountants Law Pod, where accounting professionals and law firms converge. Hosted by Lynda Artesani, Sarah Prevost, and Steve Libhart.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. And I think this week is going to be a fiery topic, but how is everybody? We're doing good. Sarah, your lipstick and your glasses match perfectly.
Oh, thanks. It's actually stain. It's like a lip. Like
it looks good.
Not stain. One of those oil stains, I guess you could.
Oh,
yeah,
looks good.
Something fun. Thank you. Yeah.
An oil stain. Okay, yeah. There's a story here. What's
there is. Okay,
come on, Steve. Get with the plan.
I know.
How do I look today?
Your hair looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It's this one.
It's
right
Kulfi. Kulfi. She finds the stuff like
she does.
It's probably very bougie. Sarah's very bougie, so it's probably a bougie.
I just like good quality things.
She does. Yeah. Now I smell like herbs. Thank you very much.
Herbs. Essential oils, natural oils.
Yes.
I love essential
oils.
It
smells so good.
Well, as a former spa owner, you would appreciate that. Yes. But yeah, no, we are in the midst of season. Obviously we're first on deck, all of us, because we do stuff prior to, and then we have to answer all the questions.
Then,
and I have to actually go to the hairdresser. I need to go to the hairdresser more often to stop the grays because I want to pull my hair out at this time of the year. Every year, I always hope it's going to be better. I'm at least a hopeful thinker, and every year it just gets worse and worse. People are demanding, they are rude. They think that they're the only client, and they want things like drop everything because they've asked for one thing that you haven't answered 50,000 things I asked for last year. Mm-hmm. Why are your books not done? They're not done because you never gave me what I asked for. But, we're not here to complain, but that is definitely a thing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. Anybody who's on here that does bookkeeping probably really knows what that's like.
Yeah. Well, the thing is we get all the work done. We get all the year-end work done.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, I made it. And to your point, Sarah, then you get this little tiny gap and then all the questions start rolling in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to Linda's point, it's like, well, I asked you for this document 7 times starting in October. So great, we're there. Let's do it. But so we're in that second phase right now. We're post 1099s. We're in the second phase. There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is.
What's that date again, Steve? I forget every year. What's the date? Is it March 6th?
The IRS says.
It keeps moving, to be honest, because it doesn't matter anymore.
I know it doesn't seem to matter. It can go all the way up to October. But our topic today is law firm business coaches hot takes. And I'm hoping this doesn't turn into complaints about the business coaches that we see from the other side, because sometimes we work with coaches and sometimes we are so siloed out here. We know they've got a coach because we see exorbitant amounts of money going out the window for the coach. We get asked to give a slew of reports, and when we ask the client, what do you need these for? And they'll go, I don't know, coach told me I needed to get them for them. And so they don't even know why. Like sometimes the request for reports is odd. I'll tell you what, if you see Rainmaker on your chart of accounts, ka-ching, that means they have a coach.
Ah, good one.
Rainmaker is one of the names and one of the terms that one of the coaching companies that we see that's quite popular uses on their chart of accounts. They will change the chart of accounts for this one thing. I think that's how they kind of justify their pricing. And they'll throw 1 million chart of accounts onto their list that I don't think are necessary, but for some reason they think it's necessary to use, to have. Client won't know why. That's the bad part about these coaching platforms. And lately today, CFO is like a catch term for, I decided I don't want to do bookkeeping anymore and I'm going to call myself a CFO. Guy, you can call yourself, chief, I don't know, nut catcher, it doesn't matter. And, there's no certification around that. CFO or I just see that too much where you've got all these professionals that are now CFOs. There are good ones. Don't get me wrong.
There are good ones.
Really good ones.
There are
and
good
then
ones.
There's the others.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the money that people are paying doesn't equate with the value. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that bothers me, because it's the ones that don't have any money that think throwing a ton of money at a coach is going to fix the problem. And the problem isn't really, maybe the coach is giving them advice. I don't know the advice because I'm not sitting in the meetings. We do get to sit in meetings with some of our coaches, but a lot of the coaches leave us over here and don't keep us in the loop and forget it. You think the client's going to be able to keep us in the
And
loop?
doesn't that break your heart?
It does, because we're not able to help, right?
Right, right,
All we get is, I need my reports on X date because I got to go see the coach. Coach
right.
date, the 8th. Well, I don't have your books done for the 8th. Your credit card closes on the 10th. I can't get you what you're asking for unless you're okay with a preliminary chart, preliminary financial statements. They don't understand what that is. So I think a lot of it's basic understanding is where they should be getting something from their coach, but then they're not getting
So
the
my question
guidance
is,
to help.
why do you hire a coach? What was the point of hiring a coach? Because
To
the
get
other
profit.
people,
To get profit. That's
well,
how they're advertised.
okay.
Sure. My answer to that, Sarah,
Yeah.
kind of folds into what we were talking about just a minute ago when
Yeah.
the question came up or the comment came up, why does the solo hire one? And, quite often the small, tiny newbie and lawyer will hire a coach in the plug and play mode. I'm going to get this coach and everything's going to be fine. And the busy bus will pull up to my front door. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, the, the, the larger mid to large size firms, sometimes they need a coach. Sometimes they need someone to come in and look at the entire firm,
Yes.
and work with the bookkeeping and accounting people.
Yeah.
And when I come across those scenarios, I'm just like I do with the CPA. I reach out, find the coach, talk to them, and figure out what's going on. And then I'll go back to the client and say, well, they want you to use purple paper. And I'll say, you really don't need purple paper. We're going to stick with white, and this is what we're going to do. And this is what it's going to look like. And this is why.
Yeah.
We just had one the other day, wrote to us, and the client said, they want me to get another QuickBooks file and take all the trust accounting out of QuickBooks and put it in a separate file. It shouldn't be mixed. I said, who said this to you?
Right.
Oh, my tax person coaching people. I said, well, tell them to reach out to us, because no, we're not pulling out, ripping it out. You get a 3-way bank reconciliation.
There you go. And you handled that right.
Why do you need to rip it out? Why do you need to pay QuickBooks another 200 and something dollars a month?
Yeah.
And why would you disconnect the flow?
So I asked the question because to me, there needs to be value, and you answered it, Steve. And the value is, why did you perceive to do this? Because oftentimes what we see is we're in a program, so we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to hope that the bus comes up, right? Like you said. And
the busy bus.
Busy bus.
And
I love that.
I say in my mind, and I think I can say this because Lynda and I have approached it this way for ourselves, is, okay, we know something's off. We want to see a difference, but we fundamentally understand where we have pieces. We'd like to hear what you have to say. Help us understand what we're missing potentially. To your point, Steve, you've got the rest of it, right? Our expectation is that we're not siloing things, and we're not being inclusive of other individuals who are predominantly in this space with you. We should be complementing each other as a group, as a whole. And so I feel like there are moments where maybe it's getting the right people in the right seats kind of thing. Maybe it's realigning the workflows to make it more efficient. So when the party bus shows up, you can take them and it can line up, right? But you
we're the
have
bridge.
to want it.
Yeah.
We're the bridge between them and the tax world.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the business coach isn't. The business coach is more big, in my mind, is more big picture. And if they can understand that, look at more than just the numbers and the chart of accounts and want to change that's just one tiny little piece of it, and involve us, but look at the entire operation.
A lot of times too, they'll ask for a budget. Can you give me a budget? Well, the coach wants a budget. Okay. Are you going to do a budget with the coach so we can put the numbers in, or do you want me to make a budget based on last year? I can do that like that. Well, I don't know. They don't know. That's the thing that bugs me when I see that they're paying lots of money. And there's one firm that they just pay thousands of dollars every time they want to watch a video. They get suckered into the platform and the group mentality. I think they do group things. And, then attorneys are they're very competitive, right? They're very, who can outdo the other. They find a lot of times, how many times have one come to you and said, well, I heard that Smokeball is a great software because my buddy in court said he really likes it and it's free. Oh, really?
You know what free gets you, right?
Free is never free.
Never.
And the value is not there.
You
Yeah.
know,
So,
Lynda, you just touched on something and you said group things. They do group things. You know, I quite often get contacted by people who are coaches to lawyers, and they're like, join our business group, join our, you know, mastermind group. And I stop and I really look at them and have to see if it's a fit or not. And I have yet to have one approach me that really, really grabs me. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, you know, there isn't one there that, you know, going to a cocktail reception once a month is not coaching in numbers for me.
a lot of them have travel. They go like travel to these exotic
Right.
locations. And it's like, I know why you're in this thing. So you can write off your travel to these beautiful islands that
Yeah.
you go to. And if you're not getting something out of it, I mean, there's some good people out there. Don't get me wrong. I don't want
Yes.
to make it sound like there's not. There are some really, really good coaches that help people through. And they, like you said, look at big picture. They don't just look at the numbers. They're
Right.
looking at forecasting what you want to go to, what they are good, strong tax people that know some of the ways to benefit the client in looking at long term. If they do increase their revenue, how do they protect themselves? Do they have key person insurance? They look at things like that that maybe were missed as the client grew their business.
Yeah.
Cyber insurance, you talk about all the different little pieces that might be missing. And they see it. They see a lot of that. And a lot of times we're head down doing the work, the daily work. We don't see that, or we don't have the tax knowledge that maybe they know some ways around making the taxes less for the client, or tax strategies that are really not in our forte. I mean, we get asked all sorts of questions, and a lot of times we have to turn around and go, you really need to talk to the tax professional about this. I mean, I can give you an answer that could be right, but I think this is really somebody that should know, that knows all of your family stuff, all of your personal stuff,
Yeah,
as
because we don't
well
have
as
the
your business.
personal. We're drawing the
Right.
line.
We can't look at this
Yeah.
little narrow window and give
Yeah.
you advice when they see the personal side of it. And how many kids
So
do you have? Are they going to come into the business? Or
yeah.
your retirement? Are you looking to phase out? I mean, there's a lot there.
Well, one of our hot tips, and it's so nice that our assistant here at Teaira put this together for us, is because she hears us say this. One of our hot tips, this goes for all law firms, your paralegal, your best paralegal should not be doing your accounting.
Nope. Shouldn't be doing
Why?
bookkeeping at all.
Why?
Why, Steve? Why is that?
Why?
They should be doing paralegal work because that's what you're paying for, them
Well,
using their expertise.
let's
They're
talk
not
about
bookkeepers.
that. Not just that, there isn't enough senior level paralegals in the market
Correct.
to
Oh my
help
gosh,
out.
people.
That is like the biggest thing I keep hearing. And if we want to develop more and do more with them, sure, a lot of people that are really good at that, why did we think that they're really good at all of this other stuff that's not their forte?
Well, you know what? You just set yourself up for a major setback because
Yeah.
when you burn out that paralegal because they're having to do the numbers that they don't want to do, or that their grandma taught them when they were 19 or whatever, you're going to lose them and you're not going to have your accounting being done.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen. I have seen it happen, and it's very painful when that happens.
So the next one on this list, which I love, is
Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it?
if you hate numbers, that's exactly why you need them.
That's my favorite one. I love
I
that.
think that is your favorite one. And why would you like that one the most? What is it about that one that you like the most?
Well, because quite often we know they don't understand or they do hate numbers. That's not their
They
forte.
do. They live
But
in a
that's
verbal
exactly
world.
why you need them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, bingo. What else can
Yeah.
you say? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. And then I think one on here that Lynda, I think either Steve or Lynda, one of you read it, was growth without process is just chaos without a logo.
oh,
Or
I'm
with
hearing
a
harps
logo.
right now.
Wait.
And we see our clients grow and blossom
Yeah.
beyond what they thought they were going to grow, right? They all of a sudden are overwhelmed with so much work, and maybe they're still trying to, maybe they took you on at the very, very beginning, and they didn't have a lot for us to do, and we're doing like the work monthly but quarterly, we're kind of billing, and then all of a sudden you're looking at the volume and the transactions, and like this, I've been looking at all these profit and loss, returns over year, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
some of these people have gone 1.5x, and I'm like, whoa, this is phenomenal. Like they've really grown. How have they grown? Right? And did they add more staff? I mean, you look at the wages, you look at the variables and see are things in a line, or, and what's happening in the firm. And I think that sometimes that's probably what the coach should probably be looking at, and then understanding where their plans are to go forward. Because sometimes growth can happen in a spurt, and sometimes growth can happen methodically and planned. And I think, you got to plan for both, but methodically and planned growth is much better than just having all these clients. You throw up a Google AdWord and you're getting slammed with leads. Which leads are good for your firm? I mean, we see clients pay $500 a week, some of them are a day, to Google, to have Google AdWords. And
Well,
then
we have
all of
right
a
there in
sudden,
our notes, your firm doesn't need more leads, it needs better margins.
you need better margins, you need better clients.
Mhm.
Sometimes you want to look at your client list, and we've been doing that recently too. It's like, all right, who in here, because you'd be surprised if you actually do the math on some of your clients that it might be costing you money to have. I had this conversation with my daughter. I'm like, if these clients are costing me money to do their work, they're not a fit,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to look at it, because sometimes in black and white, when you see those numbers, then you realize I'll never
I think
forget the
it's
day that I,
bridging that though, Linda. It's like, sure, looking at it black and white, conceptually, what does that mean exactly? So
Mhm.
for every dollar coming in the door is how much am I spending against it? I think
Correct.
simplifying the details,
Correct.
right? And then
Mhm.
sometimes a coach is a great fit if you are participating in it. Sometimes if you're expecting, like Steve had mentioned earlier, the party bus to show up and you're going to drive this thing, or they're going to drive it and you're just going to get on board because you want somebody else to drive it, well, then
Mhm.
we've got a problem. That's never going to work because you're going to keep throwing money at something that you're not holistically looking at, right? So you
Mhm.
have to understand the levers, and you may not understand them at this depth level, like this certain level, but if you are kind of having the dialogue with either accounting folks like us or other people that you can start to be inquisitive and curious about it, that is when you're ready to look towards getting support. That's what I think is when you're ready for that next stage. But
Well, or the business who approaches us or
yeah,
a consultant and says, "Can you write a business plan for me?"
what is that
Uh,
going to do? What do you
what's that
do with
gonna
your
do?
plan?
Yeah,
Honestly, what are you doing with your plan? We're
yeah.
required to have one. I wrote
We're
one
gonna go to
years
the bank
ago.
and get a loan.
Okay,
That's what I
well,
want to do.
That's what they're for.
but
Yep.
but honestly, I don't want an archaic plan on the shelf. I wrote it once and I just met the mark. I want to
Well,
know
what they'll do if
intrinsically
they
what I
don't,
want to do.
to your point, if they don't become
Yeah.
invested in the business and the process,
Yeah.
they're going to get that business plan, they're going to get the loan, and then they're going to wonder why they're in trouble. So, you know,
Yeah. Or just the conversation, to Linda, what you were saying earlier. We don't know your personal. We know the business. But, where do you think next year's going to go? Do you
Mhm.
think that payroll should remain the same for you? Do we have the same optics on it? You've got to have some kind of planning to pay these estimates and help
Right.
us understand how to help your tax planning through your payroll, let's say if you're an S corp or
And I think
your
in
plan.
every business, there's a place we can all improve, right? Every year, you and I,
Exactly.
Sarah, try to
Yeah.
improve our processes, or how we're doing things. We always try to improve. And I think that that's part of having a good coach, helps you
Hmm.
improve,
Yeah.
maybe holds you accountable. Sometimes they're there just to hold you accountable,
right?
Hmm.
and it truly does a lot of times lets them face the numbers, so they're not head down working, and then they don't look at the numbers until January. And then it's too late. You can't fix last year.
Or one thing, Linda and I were chatting with one of our team members, and it's funny exercise because this exercise happened with another group, totally unrelated, but two different people in there went through the what we can't live without thing. How much are we paying in certain softwares? And literally, it wasn't justifying. It was like literally practical moments of like, actually, no, I need this for this. I need that for that. Okay. So if we go back to our friend who is a CFO, who
Hmm.
we've had on the show before, and she has those methods where she kind
Hmm.
of breaks them down.
Now
The
she's got it.
simplified method. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I think using a simplified method, a rubric like that, for
Hmm.
every dollar walking in, how much am I spending kind of idea, that helps. And those are things that, if we were to sit down and just simplistically say, hey,
Hmm.
Linda, let's go open these books. We can see it. We would already kind of pinpoint a few things
Yeah,
already.
You know what,
always,
Sarah?
always. You
Yeah.
I
look
love
at
it
the
when
books,
you,
first thing we look at in the AR. We see
Yeah.
what's sitting there on the
yeah,
books that never
yeah.
got collected.
Yeah.
Then we look at the uncleared checks. And these are simple, simple things to look at. Or we look at undeposited funds and say, well, what's going on here? There's an awful lot of undeposited funds that go back 6 years. We've seen that though. That's what's the crazy thing. So the other big piece of hiring a coach is, are your records in place? Before you throw a lot of money and light it on fire,
Exactly.
make sure your books are right. So you're analyzing accurate data. If you open up that balance sheet, collapse your trust account, and that number on the trust account liability doesn't match that trust bank account, I'd start there. Go find a
There's
bookkeeper
other
that can
things
fix it.
happening in that file.
Yep, something's wrong. Or your undeposited funds has things in it from forever. There's places you should probably be spending money to fix it before you move on to, hiring a coach to really stylize everything. Because sometimes that is, and then really do your due diligence on picking a coach. There are some great ones out there. We've met them. And then
Well,
there's
it goes
some that
back to
are
my question. So why are you hiring the coach?
not. Exactly.
Really.
Mhm.
Steve, yes, I have to look at it through a very pragmatic way. That's my brain.
You know what? I just love it when you say that word, rubric.
You had in that rubric, Sarah.
Every time you say rubric, my heart just pounds.
To be honest with you, when you think about it though, like Lynda, you're saying this, it is a maze when you're looking at these coaches.
Yeah.
Because there are coaches for so many things. We got our
For so many
physical ones,
things,
our
yeah.
mental ones, our this or that, or our
it's
marketing ones are
crazy.
it becomes explosive. So yeah, it is a mess. And you have to figure it out. And
The thing is too, Sarah, the ones that can't afford it, we see them flipping their business into a loss category because they've spent so much money on coaches.
hard.
And
It's hard.
they're now in a loss. They're looking at a loss at the end of the year because they've spent so much on a coach and they didn't fix anything. Like that should be a red flag. If you hired a coach and you spent $40,000 on the coach, and at the end of the year, your loss on your books is $35,000, you got a problem there when you pick somebody like that.
And how much money did you take home to mama to buy the bacon that year,
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's so true. So, okay. Let's
Okay.
see, a different thing here. Well, stop hiring.
I like how
before
she
you
takes her
fix-
glasses off to read her note.
I know. Well, it's big enough right now. If you stop hiring to fix your pricing, stop hiring before you fix your pricing. So I think, is that probably coming from you're hiring too many people, but you don't have the top numbers?
You're
Basically.
throwing people at the problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That makes sense.
Steve, you're full of good acronyms today. The busy bus, throwing people at the
I
problem.
know.
Let's throw.
I'm thinking in my mind blog post topics.
It's the spaghetti thing. Let's throw it at the wall and see what sticks. I love that one.
I do have to go back to that revenue solves nothing if your systems are broken. Like Lynda was saying, it's like all of a sudden you throw out this Google ad, it becomes explosive and it comes in. You're just sure the market is shifting. I guess that's where I'm kind of thinking when you were talking earlier, Steve and Lynda, is the market's shifting. How do we turn all the knobs to shift with it? Because what happened here 2 years ago may not be working. We know this in times of AI.
That's it.
I was just going to say AI. There's the
Marketing
other
is
coach
completely
thing.
different. Marketing is
Yeah.
completely different today.
Yeah.
It's not just where did you rank on Google, because a lot of people don't go to Google anymore to ask the question. Although ChatGPT hasn't been working so well, and everybody's going, go back to Google and use Google AI or Gemini AI. And it's so
It's
funny.
baked in. It's already in there. So it's
Yeah,
already,
but a lot of people are complaining that chat's giving them bad answers, and then they're going back to Gemini. So
they're all going to run here, there.
Well, and I wonder when I drive down the street and I see all these legal billboards, and I'm like, how much does all of that cost? And what do you get in return? When
It
I'm
must
flying
work.
75
It must
miles
work.
down the freeway, I don't have time to read the phone number on the billboard.
gotta work, though.
It's exposure though, Steve. You see
You're
it.
right.
It depends on how many times you see it. There's
There
this
you go.
whole statistic that's still in play where it's like you see it how many times if you're sitting in traffic, where is it at? What are you staring at? At some point,
The bus.
it
Yeah.
just hits your mind.
Mhm.
You almost know where to look for
You
it.
get in that truck accident, you can go, oh, 1-800, da 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 da, and because you rode by it every day of the week.
Yeah.
So
Or some concert that's going to happen at such
they
and such.
are
You're like,
expensive to have
They are.
billboards.
yeah.
Well, what's really funny to me, and that they're kind of a source of, or another example of a consultant.
Mhm.
But it always amazes me. I'll, see these billboards all over where I live. And then I go to another city for a convention or something, and there's a TV commercial with that person. I'm like, whoa, what are they?
But you know what I will say? Lynda and I were taken aback because we didn't say this to each other till much later. Utah has a ton of billboards.
Really?
Oh my God. I thought Vegas was bad. Utah was worse.
I think
and they're the kind that change. So they're, yeah.
It was bad. We were like, really? This is crazy. It was everywhere.
The electronic ones that change. Yeah.
Yeah.
That flash.
Oh, she was on one once.
Oh, Teaira. Yes. She was on a billboard.
Of course she was. Who wouldn't put Teaira on a billboard?
Why not?
That sounds like the name of a movie, Teaira on a billboard.
Well, we have squirreled away on this, but
I know.
I think in total, I think if we look at this, like what we've accumulated, all these different rabbit hole moments, if you're going to hire a coach, make sure you're ready to hire the coach, and
make sure you're ready. Yeah.
Do your homework, and not only that, not to blame the coaches, because sometimes the clients hire it, throw money at it, like your spaghetti at the wall, and then they don't do the things they're supposed to do.
Don't do it. Yeah.
They're not following up with the things that the coach told them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm worn out. I need a nap after this one.
I know. My coffee's
It's only
not going to make it.
If you liked what you heard today, don't forget to like, share, and leave a quick review. It's the easiest way to help other accountants and lawyers discover our podcast. And while you're at it, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Do you have questions or a topic that you'd love us to cover? Drop us a line at info@accountantslawpod.com or send us a message through our website, accountantslawpod.com, or you can always give us your own law firm coach hot takes on our social media. Your idea might just make it into a future episode. If you want to go beyond listening, sponsor an episode and connect with our community of accounting and legal professionals who love learning, laughing, and leveling up. And don't forget to join the conversation inside the Accountants Law Lab Mastermind group. I promise this one is worth your time at accountantslawlab.com, where collaboration meets inspiration every week.
Oh, that was so sweet. We love you, Teaira.
Thank you. Thank you for your topic pieces.
Yes, Teaira keeps us in line with topics.
Mm-hmm.
We all looked at her when we saw this one and went, ew, what are we going to talk about?
Oh, we did.
That was a good topic. It was a good topic. They always
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Definitely.
Well, thanks
everybody.
Bye.